There is one other notion that the media has brought up, and that is if the other establishment candidates drop out, leaving one, because let's not forget that Donald Trump, at the end of the day, last night, 66% of the Republican Party in New Hampshire voted for another guy. In New Hampshire, 75% of the Republican Party voted for someone else. What if, there's just one, today we have like Christie and Fiorina drop out, but there's still Bush, Kasich, and Rubio. Those guys combined, if that vote kind of merges together, that could present a situation where then it's a three-way race between Cruz, Trump, and the establishment, right? So can that happen, Josh? And if it does, this media notion that it's possible that there's going to be a brokered convention, that no one will have enough delegates to win the nomination outright, and then some crazy shit will happen and Jeb Bush will still be president anyway.
Yeah. That is an excellent theory, by the way. I really enjoy that. I think so. Here's the thing. If it happens, it has to happen well in advance of Super Tuesday. Because if there are still 5-6 candidates or so, like getting any poll at all during Super Tuesday, the chance to get to, and I forget what the Republicans' magic number is this year, but it's always like 1,100, 1,200 something, I thought.
Well, let's not forget
maybe
that
17.
After March 15th, all the primaries are winner take all, so there's no more split delegates after the middle of March.
Right. Yeah, so it would have to happen now. It would have to happen probably before Nevada. Well, South Carolina, the establishment isn't going to do well anyway. I mean, that is a religious, all the bad things about the Republican Party are at play in South Carolina in a very big way.
That's so true.
So again,
Jeb Bush brought out George W. Bush, and you can't have a worse thing in the Republican Party in play.
Oh my God, and he's going to kill. That's the other thing too. Like, people act like George Bush. They're like, oh no, will that be of course it will, because George Bush has more personality than Jeb Bush in any circumstance. Like, he's going to go out there, he's going to misunderestimate something, and he's going to, I think I tried to use the wrong word, and I think I used a real word. I don't know. But he's going to just yoke it up out there and be a folksy ex-president, and it may make some people happy, but it's not going to help Jeb Bush win the state. Unless George W. Bush brings in like some Rove-style tactics and, a bunch of pictures of like Trump with black girlfriends shows up or something like that. Because, again, that's what George W. Bush in South Carolina, that's sort of how that works.
Well,
that's where the dirty politics was invented.
There's tons of dirt on Donald Trump with his ex-wives and all that, but, because it was so public and it happened so long ago, we just kind of dismissed it. Peter, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, and that's the thing you guys were talking about, and that's the element of time here. In our goofy delegate-based system, Trump just is going to keep piling them up while the field thins itself. I mean, Christie and Fiorina dropping out yesterday is statistically irrelevant, really, as far as this goes. And the same for Carson. Rubio's going to hang in there a long time. Bush, I don't think his family is going to let him not hang in there a long time.
He has too much money to get out of the race. He's still got like $61 million. He's not going to leave.
Yeah. Cruz is there forever. So, I mean, as long as the so-called undercard here keeps splitting up the non-Trump vote, then Trump will keep rolling up delegates to the point where when it finally does thin out, Trump is going to be far ahead. This, again, not to get ahead of ourselves here, but this is also the problem Bernie faces, that Hillary will just simply glom up so many delegates so soon that he's going to find himself a month from now already in a position where it's almost technically not possible for him to win.
Well, Republicans don't have super-delegates, although I'm sure they wish they did.
But they do have the winner-take-all states, which the Democrats don't have.
Yeah.
Right.
But, you're going to have to, you do the math and try to imagine, Bernie, at this point, it's difficult, even with the optimism, to imagine Bernie taking New York away from Clinton, California. I mean, Florida is kind of, I guess, more an open thing. But I mean, the point is that you can suck up an awful lot of delegates in those big states, and really leave the other guys sitting aside. I mean, if Trump takes Florida, if Trump makes progress in some of the other big states, it's very difficult to catch up.
But remember, delegates don't have to vote for who the people tell them to vote for. Now, to be fair, that rarely happens because the campaigns then nominate their own delegates, and so their people go. But the chances of a brokered convention happening, I think, especially if there are enough delegates that are not Trump to, get to win the nomination, I think there might be some kind of coalition that comes together